I've been in project mode. My goal is to get my living room painted. There's been mold on the ceiling. But the first thing I did was try using a primer that kills mold and prevents mold. So I kind of tested that first. But I feel like I got ahead of myself. I had a friend's help as well, by the way. I don't want to leave my friend Sarah out of this. Okay, so the ceiling, hope I have enough lighting. See how there's some mold there, but I've gotten a lot of it covered. And the first thing that was done is we put a coat across the whole ceiling, and it goes from, I'm at one end of my living room, which is a combination living room and dining room, sorry. Come on, get some focus. So there was one coat of primer put on the living room. The living room also includes, there's this little hallway that extends from the living room. Like, here's my hallway. There was mold up here, and we've got one coat up here of primer. And I started putting primer on the walls. See, the living room I'm at the end of this hall area, and the living room extends to that in front of me. But my point is, I'm also doing the hallway and the walls and the ceiling. But the goal is, well, I want to get it all painted and looking good. And I started doing one coat of primer on the walls. I couldn't do that one because I can't move that by myself, and I didn't get behind there with one coat. But I decided to take a step back now that I know that this is going to work, because I'm going to put 2 more coats on the ceiling. But I feel like I need to take a step back and start filling in cracks. I don't know if you can see. I'll find one I can see better. There were nail holes here and here, and I'm using spackle for these, and then I'll sand them. I gotta make sure it does fill it up. There are cracks, like right here. Okay, and can you see that crack that goes right there? Makes me wonder what was actually there. Okay, and I am not an expert at all. I'm new at this, but I'm having fun with it, and what I learned from this room will help me when I move on to the other rooms in my house. There are places in the middle of the ceiling that I need to use mud, tape and mud. See that line? It goes all the way across my ceiling. So that's where I'll be putting the tape and the mud. This is a learning experience, and I like painting. I don't like everything else that goes with it. Like the mess I've made of my living room. Oh, it's a mess. Oh, it's a mess. Furniture everywhere, things covered. Yep. But I've been planning this for a long time. No time like the present, right? So I'm going to get it ready to add the primer, and then I'm going to do 3 coats of the primer, and then I'm going to paint it, and I'm going to go with white. It currently has, we call it beige or satin, or this is what's going on in the corner. So I got to figure out, do I just need to peel it, or maybe I need to peel it, and do I use mud or spackle, or do I sand it? That's something I need to learn. Then when I have the walls done, the next job will be to get rid of this. This is wool carpet, and I think someone told me that the person who lived here before, she bought this in the late 70s. I did have it cleaned when I first moved in, but I don't really like carpet. I have allergies, and I'd rather the floors be, I'd rather just be floor. And there's supposed to be wood under here. All my other floors are wood. So what I'll decide what I'm going to do after I see what kind of work I have ahead of me. I'll be restoring the wood, or the wood floors, or I will cover with, I don't know, flooring that is a dark brown, because I think my furniture will look better with that. So I'm gonna get this living room painted and learn a lot while I do it, and I'm gonna put in new flooring and learn a lot while I'm doing it. But this is called project mode. Okay, if you want to see how this turns out, stay tuned. Subscribe, hit the notification button, and hang in there with me. If you are an expert at this, you may cringe a little, but I'm learning, and that's something I enjoy. I enjoy learning new things, and that's what this, it's not just about making this look better. It's about learning. Whatever I learned from this room will help me when I go to the other rooms in my house and start taking care of, doing cosmetic type things. Anyway, bye for now.